All right, good morning, but everybody, let's go ahead and start with just a couple deep breaths in and out. And big breath in. Good, couple more just like this. And while we're doing this warm-up, we're going to do a little bit of a body assessment. Good, one more. So I want you to see how you're feeling today. Good, arms down. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down one time and set the shoulder blades. And then we're just going to start with a really gentle side-to-side motion with our head. Good, let's go ahead and bring that head up, and we're going to look to the right, look to the left. So remember, we're probably not going to be going very far here, because most of us, depending on what time it is, our necks are very stiff and sore, especially right away in the morning. 2, 1, bring it in the center. Now we're going to tuck our chin close, like we're going to hold an apple, and then we're going to do the same thing where I want you to try to hold an apple behind your head. You can even take your hand, if you'd like, your index finger, and just kind of try to squeeze your finger and then place it right at the base of your neck and then try to squeeze your finger. So you're just going down and then bringing it back up. So it's not a forward and back movement. It's honestly just kind of like a teeter-totter, where you just tuck it down, squeeze, and then lift up. Good, one more time each direction. Good, bring it up, and we're just going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. So try to keep your thumbs pointing forwards for this one. I can tell I'm doing my assessment, and this is my kind of crunchy side. So this one feels okay. This one I kind of feel a little bit of a catch, a little bit of tightness kind of right in the front. Good. Let's bring those arms up in front. We're going to open and we're going to close. So we're just working on starting to get the blood flow going. Here's 2 and 1, and now we're going to take the arms back, and then we're going to reach it up and overhead. So it's just a nice good swing. Good, a couple more. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it in. Take the arm across the body. And we're going to start to add a little tap side to side. This is one of my favorites. It just really stretches out my back really well. Good, 4, 3, 2. Now reach it up and overhead. A little side bend, so kind of think about washing the windows. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it in. Feet about hip width apart. Arms out to the side. Thumbs pointing towards the ceiling. Move from the shoulders. And we're just going to do nice, good circles. Good. Let's change direction. 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms down, and now we're going to reach up to the side. Hips stay in place. So hips are stationary, lifting the ribs up towards the ceiling. And then our opposite hand can reach kind of down towards your knee. So I try to imagine that my back is against a wall, and I'm just moving side to side. Here's 2, one, bring it in the center, feet hip width apart. We're going to start with toes pointing forwards, and we're just going to do our hip circles. Good, and let's go the other direction. And now we're going to keep our heels where they are, and we're just going to pivot a little bit so our toes are pointing towards the corners. And again, we're going to do our hip circles. And let's go the other direction. 2 and 1, and then we're going to pivot on the heels, internally rotate from the hip all the way down. If your feet are close enough together, you can almost try to get your toes to touch, but you don't have to. This is not always a super comfortable position. So if you can't get your toes to touch, no worries. Good, change direction. This is the one I struggle with too. That internal rotation, because most of us do not have our feet go in this direction. There's 2 and 1. All right, we're going to work on our leg swings, so hold on to something if you need to. So set your shoulders, brace your core, and plant that foot so it's nice and secure, and we're just going to start to swing front and then back. Good. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Good. And now we're going to switch, and same thing. So stand nice and tall, brace the core, start with little swings. So I'm still doing my assessment, and I can feel right at the top of my glutes that I can feel I'm just a little bit tight. So I will just be aware of that when we start to move through some of these exercises today. At 3, 2 and 1. Good. Now I like to face a wall or face a countertop and have plenty of room for your legs to move side to side. So I'm, a foot or 2 away from the wall, and I'm just going to take my leg out, swing it to the side, and then a little cross in front. Now you can just tap it, and your cross in front doesn't have to be really big. If you've had a recent hip replacement, they usually tell you to stop at the midline of your body for a while. So that's what you can do. But if you can, I want you to try to make it big. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it, switch it to the other side. Adjust as needed. And then we're going to take it out, and we're going to swing. You are going to get a little bit of rotation of the hip over the femur on your standing leg. So we're trying to get a nice, good lift. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, take it to the center of your space. We're going to take the legs nice and wide. We're going to do our double side pull. So we're going to take it 2 to the right and then 2 to the left. And start very slow and gentle here. This is the exercise that if my knee is fussing a little bit today, this is the exercise where it tells me. So it's a gentle little pulse. It's just kind of a double, 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 double. We shift our weight into that leg. We push our hip back. Yes, your knee is going to move towards your toe. We just don't want to actively push it towards your toe. So it's, your hips go back, your knees go forward. That's kind of how you counterbalance to keep yourself upright during certain exercises. 2 more. 2. And then 1. Bring it in. Keep the legs nice and wide. We're going to hinge at your hips. We're going to take it forward. We're going to go forward, middle, and then reach behind you. This is a hamstring stretch. So we're trying to keep that nice neutral spine position, hinging at the crease in your hips versus at your belly button. You can see I always start high, especially if I'm stiff that morning. And hopefully, as you start to get a little bit looser, you start to feel a little bit better. Maybe you can touch the floor. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Forward, middle, reverse, one more set, forward, middle, and reverse. And carefully bring it up, keep the legs nice and wide. Take the arms out to the side. We're gonna side lunge. We're gonna rotate, reach towards your ankle. Maybe you're reaching towards your calf or your knee, but it's a little side lunge and a little torso rotation. I want you to think as you reach your arm up or down towards your ankle, that you're reaching your other arm up towards the ceiling. So we want as much movement to come from our torso versus from just our arms, if that makes sense. So we want to think shoulder drops, opposite shoulder opens. We're trying to turn ourselves sideways. Good, 2 more. 2 and 1. All right, we're going to take it out to a plank. So if you're like this, most of you can probably just walk yourselves out. I have to turn sideways. Hinge it forwards. Walk it out to a plank. Hold your plank. And we're going to lift up, down dog, and then back to plank. Down dog, and back to plank. If you need to, have your hands on a chair, on the seat of a chair. Does not have to be on the floor. We're going to spread our fingers, have your weight evenly across your entire palm, and that'll really help if you have a little discomfort with some of these exercises. Good, down and plank. Good, one more time. Down and plank, and then we're going to walk ourselves all the way back up to a standing position. We're going to roll the shoulders, grab a quick drink of water, and then you're going to want to grab a dumbbell. It does not have to be super heavy. We're going to do our neck drills again, holding a dumbbell. So I'm sorry, this is one where you're not supposed to swallow and breathe at the same time. So we're going to grab a dumbbell. We're going to start with the dumbbell in, in our right hand, and we're just going to let that dumbbell kind of pull the shoulder down and back. So holding this dumbbell, we're going to very gently nod our head yes. So we're just going to do a couple here. Good, and then look forwards, and now we're going to shake our head no. Again, just a couple each direction. Good, now bring it to the center. We're going to tilt ear to shoulder, so we're tilting away from the arm with the dumbbell. Hold this tilt, and again, we're going to nod our head yes. So keep the tilt, and now we're going to nod. So we're still trying to kind of look forwards. I look towards the corner of the ceiling, and then I bring it down and look forwards. Right to the center. Good, lift. Good, now we're going to keep that tilt, and we're going to shake our head no. So we're going to look towards our armpit, and then we're going to look up towards the ceiling. So armpit and ceiling. Good, here's about 3, 2, and 1. And then release, and we're going to bring the head up. And now we're going to turn to the corner, and we're going to tuck our chin, looking down towards our armpit or towards the floor. And we're going to take that hand, and we're going to very gently hold our head in place. We're not going to pull on it. We're just going to hold it in place. And now we're going to do 10 backward rolls. So we're going to roll the shoulder that has the dumbbell up, back, and down 10 times. 2, 1. Good. Change direction. So now we're going to go forward. Good. Release the head, bring it back up into the center. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to take that dumbbell into the opposite hand now, shoulder down and back. And again, we're just going to do a couple of look-ups. Good. And then look forward, and we're going to do a couple side to side. Good. Now bring it to the center, and again, we're going to do ear to shoulder. So we just tilt the ear to the shoulder, and then we're going to nod our head yes. So goal is 8 to 10 repetitions. So for these ones, I'm doing about 8. Good. And then we're going to hold, and now we're going to do our shake our head no. So look towards the armpit and then look towards the ceiling. So armpit to ceiling, and do a quick assessment, especially if you feel a little tight on certain days. You might find that you're tilting your torso and that you're leaning your body towards the floor, or lifting a shoulder. You want to keep those shoulders down nice and low. Good. Now we're going to release, bring the head up. We're going to turn to the corner, tuck our chin, looking down towards our armpit or the floor. And again, we're going to take that hand and we're just going to hold our head in place. We're not going to yank on it or pull on it, just hold it in place. And we're going to do 10 backward rolls. Good. There's 2 and 1, and now we're going to go the other direction. So just 10. There's 3 and 2 and 1, and then gently release the head, bring the head back up into the center. And we're going to go ahead and set that dumbbell off to the side. Grab a quick drink, and we're going to head down to the floor. If you don't want to go to the floor today, you can absolutely do these next few exercises standing. So you don't have to do these exercises on the floor. If you're staying standing, put your hands against a wall, and you want to try to have shoulders down, arms parallel to the floor, but it's going to depend on your wrists, but you really want to try to have your hands against a wall. Otherwise, we are going to be on hands and knees, and we're going to do our shoulder circles, but we're going to look to the side. So we're going to start in a nice good hands and knees position, brace the core, and we're going to do 5 shoulder circles. We're just going to think about going, squeeze the shoulders, lift to the ears, push the floor away, and then pull down. So 5 circles going forwards. And now we're going to go in reverse. So we're going to squeeze the shoulders, pull the shoulders down, push the floor away, and then come to the ears. So now we're doing our backward rolls. Elbows stay straight, core stays nice and braced. Good. Then you can sit back for just a moment, give the wrist a little bit of rest, and then we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to come up and we're going to turn and look to the left. So turn and look to the left, keep looking left, and now we're going to do those 5 backward rolls and then 5 forward rolls. So keep the head turned. It's a lot to think about. Good. And then go the opposite direction. So belly's in, elbows straight. 2, 1, and then you can again sit back a little bit, give the wrists a break if you need to. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we bring it back up, we look over to the right, and again we're going to start with our rolls. So 5 and 5. Good, and then go the other direction. And again, you can sit your hips back to your heels, give the wrists a little bit of a break. And we're going to come back forwards again. And you can do this portion standing with your hands against a wall or your hands resting on a chair, but we're going to brace our core. We're going to make a loose fist in our left hand, and we're going to lift our arm up out to the side, rear delt. We're going to hold it for a count of 5. And then we're going to bring it in, and we're going to press it back, and we're going to hold it for a count of 5. Good. Bring it down, rear fly, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down, press it back, straight arm press back. Good, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Again, lift it up and back, or out to the side. And down, and then press it back. 3, 2, 1. We got 2 more sets. So you can be here. You can be in a forward fold. And down, and then lift and press. So keep that loose fist. Good, and 1 more set. So that loose fist actually helps you with keeping that tension. Good, and down, and then press it back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. A little bit of a shakeout, wiggle your fingers. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So good hands and knees position. Core is braced, shoulders away from the ears, right hand loose fist, and we're going to lift it up and out to the side. And bring it in and press it back. So shoulders stay away from the ears. Good, and down, same thing, out to the side, shoulders away from the ears. We're tensing up the back of the body around the shoulder. And down, and then press it back. Out to the side. And down, press it back. Good, we've got a couple more sets. And press it back. Down, 1 more set, lift. And I can tell this is my weak side because I'm feeling the burn much stronger than I was on the other. Good, release. We're going to walk our hands back towards our knees, hips to heels, come to a kneeling position, and then we're going to come up to a standing position. Just for a couple of exercises standing. Again, if you have a wall nearby, find your wall. Big open wall. If you don't, that's perfectly okay. I might have to move my little thing, but we're going to start standing sideways to the wall. The farther away you start when you stand, the easier this is going to be. I'm going to take the back of my hand to the wall, and I'm going to bring it up and around, and when I get to the top, I'm going to rotate my palm to the wall to finish my circle. And then palm to the wall till I get to the top, and then back of the hand, and we're going to take it down. So again, this is 1. The closer you are to the wall, the harder this is going to be. So start away from the wall. Now, if you don't have a wall available, you can still do the shoulder circles. You just won't have the wall. The wall kind of helps stop you from doing too much rotation. I can still feel I'm getting myself a little bit more rotation than I'd like. We're going to try to do 5. So going back and coming to the front is 1. So I think this is about 5 for me. Good. And I'm going to kind of get an idea of where my foot is, and I'm going to turn, but just realize that your sides are not even on both sides of your body. So you may find that on one side, if you've had a surgery or an injury or something like that, you may find that on one side you have to be farther away from the wall than the other. So I just did what is probably my hard side. So this side should be okay. We're just working on a little shoulder mobility, a little shoulder strength here today. Nice, good circle. And try to go all the way. I'm going to do one more. I think I've already hit my 5, but I'm going to do my last one. And then bring it in, a little bit of a shakeout. Grab a quick drink of water, and then we're going to move on to our next series. So it's going to be a little bit of standing, but then there's actually going to be a lot of floor work in this section. So for this one, we're going to take our feet about hip width apart, and we're going to do a forward fold with a little sway and a shift. And if you don't want your head to go below your heart, have a chair nearby, and that's kind of your target. We're just going to take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to forward fold, reach towards the floor. Now you can take your hands and just let them kind of hang on the floor. You can give yourself a little bit of a hug, and I want you to just kind of sway and shift side to side. Good, and then we're going to carefully bring it back up, nice and tall. Good. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. And again, I want you to keep your legs fairly straight for a couple, stretching the low back. Your head does not have to go below your heart, just keep that in mind. Good, and then carefully bring yourself back up. We're going to do 3 more. Now here's an option for some of you. As you just take a nice deep breath in, and you exhale, and you just take your forearms to a ball or to the seat of a chair, and you can still do your kind of wiggle. So I know not everybody feels amazing about forward folds, and especially, if you have issues with your blood pressure. Good, and then we're going to come back up. Reach it up. We have 2 more. And again, forward fold, just reach it. If you can take your hands to the floor, amazing. If you can't, you can even have your hands on your thighs a little bit if you need a little support. You just want to stretch the back of the body a little bit. Good, bring it up. And last one, inhale, big breath in. Exhale, again, we're going to kind of just hinge forward, a little forward fold. You can allow the head to go below your heart if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, don't feel you have to. Have it in a position that feels okay. Good, and then carefully roll it all the way up. Roll the shoulders. So now we're going to give ourselves a little bit of space. We're going to go for a plank walkout to an up dog variation. So we're going to hinge it forwards. We're going to walk it all the way out to a nice good plank. And then if you want to drop to your knees, you can. We're going to point our toes, and we're going to lower our hips down towards the floor. A little bit of a wiggle. Good. And then we tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and we're going to walk ourselves all the way back up again. So lifting up. Good. Inhale up. Reach it forwards. We're going to take it down. We're going to walk ourselves out. Nice, good position. Carefully bring the knees down to the floor. Point your toes. Lift yourself into an up dog variation. So hips drop down towards the floor. Open the front of the body. Tuck the toes under. Lift it up and back. Walk yourself all the way back up to a standing position. Good. Hinge it forwards. Walk it out. Carefully come down to your knees, point your toes, lift the upper body. Good, tuck the toes, lift it up and back, Walk ourselves back up to a standing position. Good, one more time. And remember, you have the option to step it back into a plank, or you can just stand, place your hands on the shelf of your glutes and push down. So you can do a plank walkout and then walk back up and then do your up dog variation in a standing position. It's a little goofy, but it works. Go ahead, tuck the toes under, lift it up and back. Walk yourself back up to a standing position. Good, now we're gonna take it down. We're gonna walk ourselves out to a plank position. We're gonna hold, now we're gonna lift it up into a down dog. Hold your down dog, and we're gonna walk the dog. So just a little bit of a heel drop, heel lift, down and up. Now you can stay standing. You can do this if you've got stairs and you've got railing you can hold on to. You can drop your heels off the edge. 3, 2, 1. Good. Carefully come forward into a plank. Carefully drop the knees to the floor. Sit your hips back to your heels. Reach out in front of you, child's pose variation. So reach those arms out. So imagine you're pulling yourself forward and somebody is pulling your hips back. You're trying to lengthen fingertips to hips, so you're stretching. Reach it forwards. Good. Now let's walk our hands a couple of steps over to the right. Keeping the hips close to the heels, you'll feel a stretch on the left side of your body. Good, and then back to center, and then walk the hands over to the left till you feel a little stretch on the right side of the body. Good, bring it back into the center. We're gonna come up onto a hands and knees position. You can do this standing, it's just like we did in the warm-up. Shoulders down, and we're gonna do hip circles. So we're just gonna circle our hips one way. So think about pulling the belly up and in and then out to the side, gentle arch of the back all the way through. Good, let's go the other direction. So this one I'm focusing on just mid to low back and hips. I'm not doing a whole lot with my upper and mid back or my head. Good, let's bring it into the center, and we're gonna do cat-cow, but instead of doing an arch and around, I want you to do a side to a side. And I know you probably couldn't hear that, but I just got my SI joint to pop on the one side. But I just want you to think about bringing the hip up towards the rib and then go to the other side. So our upper body is nice and steady. It's kind of a weird one. So I want you to just imagine you're trying to bring your hip closer to your ear and then switch sides. So hip to the ear and hip to the ear. So it's just a very gentle lift. It's almost like somebody's got a string attached to your waistband and they're trying to pull the string up towards your ribs. Good. Here's 2 and 1. Good. We're gonna walk ourselves out just a little bit farther. Lift up into a plank. We're gonna step our right foot to our right hand, and we're gonna carefully bring our left knee back down to the floor. And we're gonna take that front leg and we're just gonna move it in and out just a little bit, just a little wiggle. Again, if you don't wanna be on the floor, you can do this standing, hand on a chair seat. So chairs are great for a little bit of support if you don't wanna go to the floor. Good. Hand down, lift it up into plank, step it back, switching sides. So left foot to left hand, carefully bring the right knee to the floor. And again, we're just gonna move that hip. It's just a little wiggle. It's not gonna go very far, and that's okay. I'm just trying to get a little movement, internal, external rotation. Good. Hand back down to the floor, lift it up, step it back, right foot to the right hand again, left knee to the floor. Now we're gonna do those open books. So we're gonna take our right forearm down towards the floor, and then I want you to open your right shoulder towards the ceiling. This is one that I could not get to the floor when I first started doing it. I still struggle a little bit on days when I'm really, really tight, but that's all right. This is one that the more you do it, the more you practice, the better at it you're gonna get. If this is really, really tough, have your hands elevated a little. So even if you're on the floor, have your hands on a couple yoga blocks. You can absolutely do that. Good, bring it in, hand to the floor, lift up into plank, step it back, switching sides, left foot to left hand, right knee to the floor, and we're gonna do our open books. Now if you struggle going from a plank into the runner's lunge or a step forward type position, it might be because of the length of your legs. It might be because maybe you have a little fluffy, that's okay. You just modify. You just modify. So you might just have to elevate your hands a little. And that's perfectly okay. You just have to, change things up a little bit. Make the move a little bit different. Good, one more. All right, let's take that hand back down to the floor, lift up into plank. Step the foot back. We're gonna walk ourselves all the way back up to a nice, good standing position. Take your time, roll yourselves up, roll your shoulders up, back and down into your back pocket. So sometimes I have to stop halfway up. So if you're feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy, just come, halfway up, and then you're good to go. All right, we're gonna take a couple nice deep breaths in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good, one more time, big breath in, and out, and you are all done.